Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please click like and share. Betty, thanks for coming. Jesus Hernandez, thank you for coming. Chosen Treasure, thank you. Everybody else that's just watching and not in chat, I welcome you to. Please click like and share this video with anybody you know that's going through something. And I'm going to come up in a minute. I just want to talk to you a little bit and let you read what's on the screen. It's all right, Marcellus. It's all right. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Lynn. I'll tell you, it's been a tough couple of weeks. It's been a real tough couple of weeks. But I hope what I'm about to tell you, hey, Mommy, I hope what I'm about to share with you, nothing's happened, nothing at all. I just want to share some information, and I hope that it will help somebody else. No drama, no back and forth with nobody, none of that stuff. This is just me trying to encourage somebody and share what I've been through, and hopefully what I've been through will help them. So, yeah, that's all this is. It's nothing bad going on. None of that stuff. So, probably get people to they'll probably leave when they find out I'm not trashing nobody. But yeah, so I just want to share my story. Tell you what happened today. So I got up this morning, talking to my family. Had a rough night. I got off work at midnight, came home, fixed a little something to eat, drifted off to sleep, fell asleep watching a documentary. And I was like, it was just a tough night. It was just tough. And I was having a talk with God, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, was. And there's some things going on that I was unhappy about, and things that's going on in my life that are tough. And I don't know how this happened, but my son walked in the living room and sitting there talking to my family and everything. And the next thing I know, everybody crying, everybody emotional. It was like the stuff we were talking about, or the stuff either that is hurting, it has hurt us, is hurting us, um, or how we can deal with it moving forward, praying about it, talking it out, listening to each other. And I have had a lot of stuff that I've held in. That's my shortcoming in life. Um, when I don't say what I feel, it just I bottle it up, and it just builds, and then I blow up, or I break down, depending on the situation. So I shared some painful things that happened over my life, and that just recently happened. Um, then I got in my car because I had some errands to run, and I just started driving out in the country. No destination. After I ran my errands, no destination. Open the sunroof, let my windows down, let all that air come in, smoke me a cigar, listening to um, Kirk Franklin's song, uh, More Than I Can Bear, Deliver Me by Leandra Johnson. Just kept playing them over and over and over. I'm just riding. Wherever the music took me, I'm just playing those two looped over and over and over. And I just had a talk with God about the things that I've dealt with, um, from my childhood, from my teenage years, my young adult years, now my older years. I'm 56 years old. Things that have hurt me, the passing of my parents, legal issue here recently, um, evil people doing evil things and saying evil things, um, family issues, business issues, uh, relationships, um, just the storms just kept coming. The storms just kept coming. And my health, mental and physical. Um, and while I said I wanted to go live today, and I was like, God, what can I say to help somebody, including me? And I remembered a meme that I saw on Facebook a long time ago, and I saved it. And it was a person writing a letter to God. And it said, Dear God. And then it stopped. And all you saw was the white piece of paper and the pencil laid down, and the paper was covered in tears. So I thought about it. I was driving, back roads, farmland, the whole shot, just music, gospel music playing. And it came to me. God hears your tears. And I was like, is that what you want me to talk about? And it just kept going over and over in my head. God hears your tears. So I remember sometime in my life, I've been so down, I've been so dejected, I've been so hurt that I would open my mouth to cry or holler out, and no sound came out. Just my pain. Tears rolled down my face, but I've been so broken that I've opened my mouth to cry out. Nothing came out of me, just pain. But God knew in those moments what I needed and what I was going through. You don't have to have the words. Sometimes like, God, give me the words. No, you don't. Sometimes you just gotta come. You just gotta come from here. Your soul will cry out when your mouth won't. And I hope that what I'm about to share with you will encourage you to not get frustrated, to get down. To some of you, I hope that it cause you not to be contemplating suicide no more. You get the help you need. See a therapist, see a psychiatrist, whatever you need to heal. I hope that what I'm about to say in the next couple of minutes will help you. So after God gave me that topic of God hears your tears, I'm talking. God hears your tears. I said, okay, what passage can I use to get the message across? And this was 2 minutes before I came on. I said, I still don't have a passage, God. I said, what can I say? What can I read? So I did a little research real quick. And Psalm 34, verse 18. And it says, the Lord is near to those who have a broken heart and save such as have a contrite spirit, a broken spirit. So that's why I looked in my Bible and I got that. I'll read it again. God is close to those who are brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And that's what I've been dealing with, a crushed spirit. And I've been lying to people. Oh, dear, how you doing? Oh, I'm all right. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. And it was a bold-faced lie. I wasn't fine. Far from it. Far, far from it. Buried both my parents 18 months apart. People that I would have crossed an ocean for wouldn't even cross the sidewalk for me. People that I helped. Now I'm the villain in their life story. I ain't no good now because they have no more use for me. People that I loved and I thought loved me back. No. I love them more than they love me. Painful life lesson. People that you thought would never leave you walked away. And I hope that you can be encouraged. That's my hope. God has not forgotten you. He has not forgotten me. I know I'm talking to you, but really I'm talking to myself because I can't help nobody. I got to help me first. And I battle depression every day. And I was telling my son this morning, I said, son, you're the motivation for me starting to see a therapist. I had never seen a therapist before. I was 28 years old. And I don't know, I've shared this story a few times, but for those of you who've never heard it before, I'm about to share it again. My son was a newborn baby. There was so many people in the hospital that we couldn't even be on the maternity ward. They had us in the other part of the hospital with any and everybody dealing with whatever. And you had to have a band on your wrist to match the band on the baby. So, you know, I would go get my baby and my son and bring him down to the room for my wife. And, you know, she was in the bed, of course. And I'm coming down the hall. I'm so proud. I'm a first-time dad and everything. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm proud. I'm looking at my son. And I'm telling him the story this morning. And In the room next to us was this 15-year-old kid, and their pastor was there giving him the last rites. He was dying. Whole family around his bedside saying goodbye to him. And as hurt as they came out to see me with my little baby. And the mother, through her tears, she said, "Congratulations." I said, "Thank you." I said, "I'm sorry about your son." The minister told me that the young man was dying. And he was coming. He had just given him the last rites and all that. And I felt horrible. Here I am with my newborn, and their child is dying. And it put things in perspective for me. It was my son's daycare. I'm skipping them, but hold on. My son's daycare I used to send my boys to when they were little. She had a sign on a wall that said, "Babies are God's way of telling us life must go on." And that always stuck with me. But anyway, I come back in the room. I roll my son in there. I was scared. I was telling him this morning, big as my son is now, I was scared to touch that boy when he was born because I was scared I was going to hurt him. He was so little. He was 6 pounds, 5 ounces, 19 inches long. I remember everything about my children. And I remember I was a big guy then. I was so scared I was going to hurt him. And my wife had to talk me. And she said, "Pick up your child." And I was scared to cradle him or anything. I was so scared I was going to hurt this little fella. My child. And finally I held him. I was in a little rocking chair in the room. I didn't rock him. I didn't know what to do. I was just holding him just like I hold this little dog, just rocking. And just looking down at him. Him looking at me with those big eyes. And I didn't know what to do. And I gave him over to his mama, because she had to feed him. And then the nurse came in. And she was checking him with that stethoscope, and it must have been cold because he immediately got mad and agitated, started crying. And she said, I remember these words. These words is what set me off my depression into overdrive. I had been battling depression all along in college and didn't realize it. I just didn't know until I got in therapy. And this is why. She was checking him, making sure he was okay. She said, "You poor, poor baby. You fought and you fought to make your way into this cold, cold world." And when that lady said that, it was like the whole building had fallen in on top of me. I felt so much guilt for bringing him into this world. I felt so much guilt behind that. It pushed me into a depression. And I was sitting in that room crying. And I gave my son, after she left, I gave my son. I don't know if the lady meant it to hurt me or not. She didn't know. But I was so hurt. I gave my child to my wife. And I said, "Oh, I'll be right back." And I went in the bathroom. She thought I was in there using the bathroom, whatever, and changing clothes because I had been there and I didn't leave the hospital. And I cried for 15 minutes. And I knew I was in trouble. So I made an appointment while I was in the hospital. I called the appointment line. I said, "Look, I need to see a therapist. I'm in distress." They said, "Are you thinking of hurting yourself?" I said, "No," because they were I knew they were going to say, "Go to the emergency room, shoot out." That was downstairs. I said, "No, I just need to see somebody to be evaluated. I'm battling depression." I said, "My wife just had a baby." And I said, "I don't care if I got to walk to where the appointment is." I said, "I need to see somebody soon." So they got me in that next Wednesday. And I got evaluated. Talked to the therapist. Therapist referred me to a psychiatrist, because in order to get the medication, you got to go to psychiatrist. And luckily for me, I had a black man as a therapist, first therapist I ever had. And I never realized just how much I was carrying on my shoulders. till I talked to a therapist. My son was my motivation for going to get the help because I was determined that I was going to break the generational curse in my family. And what I mean by that generational curse, you're a man, you're not supposed to cry. Anything bothering with you, suffer in silence. Don't talk to nobody about it. Get over it. Everybody has problems. That kind of stuff. And I was determined I was going to change that. And so I got help. My grandfather never told my dad that he loved him. So when it came to me, that was a foreign thing for my father to do. His way of saying he loved you. Well, you know I love you, right? Because I provide a roof over your head, you eat, you got clothes. That was his way of saying, well, you know I love you. But I used to get mad with that. But then as I got older, I had to realize his father never told him he loved him. So when I come along saying, tell me you love me, he didn't know what to do with that. He was doing the best he could with what he had. But I wasn't getting that as a child. I wasn't getting that. So up until my 20s, that's what it was until I had my son. And I was telling Daryl this morning. My therapist made me realize that instead of you waiting on him to tell you he loves you, you tell him. I said, go tell him. So I did that. I said, I didn't say, you know I love. I said, I love you. You're my father. And I went down the line why I loved him. It wasn't for material reasons or material thing. I loved him because he loved me enough to bring me here. And he loved me enough to protect me and teach me the things I needed to know so that now that he's gone, I can pass it on to my children. But thanks be to God, as my dad got older, well, when my dad was 70, he had the aneurysm to rupture. And then he bounced back from that, God's grace. And never missed a chance to tell him I loved him. He never missed a chance to tell me back. Up until he passed away. So we had a full circle moment. But I made the choice to be an interruption in my bloodline. I don't miss a chance to tell my children I love them. Because I want to foster a healthy, it's okay to tell your children you love them. Not just your daughter, your son needs to be reaffirmed too. He needs to know you love him. So how can I create that so that after I'm gone, I got to be the one that started. Son, I love you. I love you. And not only say I love, hug him. First time my father hugged me, and it was like real quick, like boom, boom, pat on the back type hug, not a embracing hug. Was my college graduation. No, it was a high school or college. No, he shook my hand in high school. College, he hugged. It was foreign to him. My dad was in the military. My dad left home at a young age, joined the military. He was married, started a family. So he had to learn as he went along. I can't fault him for that. He did the best he could with what he had. But as I got older, I said, I want to take, each generation is supposed to get better. And that's what I did. I just went ahead and was willing to do the hard work. And I got it right sometime. I messed it up just as many times. But I thought about it as I was driving. I said, if there's ever a time where my children are mad at me or feel like I hurt them, I want them to know that it was never my intention to make them mad, or it was never my intention to hurt them. I was doing the best I could so that they could have a better understanding of what love from one man to another is. And I was the one that created that, so that when they go on, they get to be my age one day, they can do even 10 times better than me with that, with their children and their grandchildren. And I walk up to them, hey, I love you. I could just be passing them in the kitchen. Hey, pat them on the back, give them a hug, tell them I love them. You never know when the last time you're going to see them or they're going to see you. Go ahead. Sit down. I love you too. I love you too, but you got to let me finish this show. Okay? Okay. So yeah, my son was my motivation for me getting therapy. I had to take, I'm not ashamed, I had to take some medicine. I had bad depression, but I was misdiagnosed as being depressed. I do deal with depression, but that was not the root issue. I later found out that I was bipolar 2, type 2. Not the one you see up on the poles and doing all the other stuff. That's type 1. I'm type 2. Either I'm in a manic phase where I'm up for hours and maybe even a day or so at a time, working, or talking real fast and real loud, real excited. Or either I'm down here, just depressed. The old term for bipolar was manic depression. Jimi Hendrix made a song about it called Manic Depression because he was. And that's why it bothers me when people make bipolar jokes. Oh, the weather is acting bipolar. My cell phone is acting bipolar. My internet is acting bipolar. And I'm sitting there and they don't even realize what I deal with that on a daily basis. I try not to make comments like that because just like I've gone through stuff, I'm going through stuff, and you have nothing, no way of knowing that. I try to be mindful of that with other people. Like, you'd be hard pressed for me to make a joke about somebody's weight. Yeah, now, certain people, yeah, you've heard me make comments, but I know the pain of being made fun of because of my weight. That's why even now I got a gastric bypass 2016. I am very self-conscious about my size. To the point sometimes I would get very, very dehydrated, ended up in the emergency room because I wasn't eating. I wasn't drinking, bringing in enough fluid, and I get sick and have to go get IV bags, 2 and 3 IV bags. I'm dehydrated, about to fall out, half falling out. So I know what that's like. I remember every fat joke that's ever been said to me from the time I was a child to 2016 when I got that weight loss surgery. I remember every comment. Remember it all. Instead of me just being acknowledged as, hey, Daryl, how you doing? Hey, big man, what's up? What's up, big boy? Stuff like that. They didn't think none of it, but each time it just chipped away at me. I'm like, that's why my film is titled Invisible Man. You see everything and everybody except me. I just wanted to, before I leave this earth, I said, God, let me just be plain old Daryl. And when I got that surgery, I became plain old Daryl. I didn't become big. I wasn't big man no more. I wasn't big Mo, none of that. I was just Daryl. There was no more comments made about my appearance. There were no more girls not liking me because I was big. There was no fat jokes. There was no, oh, I know you ain't eating that while I'm sitting out at a restaurant trying to enjoy myself and enjoy the company or whoever I'm sitting with. None of that. All that went away. But the pain of it stayed back here. To this day, even though I'm not big, I sit on a chair, I sit on the edge of it because in the back of my mind, like, oh, I might break this chair. You'd be surprised at what I'm just sharing stuff with me, hoping that it helps you. But you don't know what the next person is going through. So try to be kind to them because you never know. A kind word goes a long way. Speak life into people. You never know. The words that come out of your mouth might be the determining factor of whether that person goes home and commits suicide or not, or tries to. The words that come out of your mouth. There's power in the tongue. Be careful what you say to people. Not what you do. Be careful what you say. Words hit harder than a fist. I can hit you all day with my fist. I may hurt you. I might even knock some of your teeth out. But if I say the wrong word to you at the right time, it will destroy you. It will crush your spirit. That's why I don't talk too much. I talk to the people that I feel comfortable with in my circle. And then sometimes I shut all the way down. And that has caused me so many problems in life. When I'm going through something, I don't intentionally try to close anybody out or shut them down. But I shut me down so I can regroup, get my head straight. And whatever I'm dealing with, personal or business, family, whatever it is, I slow down. I get off to myself and I sit still. Okay, what up? How can I fix this? What's the problem? How can I fix it? Who do I need to talk to that can help me fix it? Whatever the case may be. And that's been a problem when I'm dating. When I'm dating women, oh man, that will make them break up with me so fast. Because you're shutting me out. You're not communicating. I'm like, I couldn't verbalize it. I'm hurting. I need to deal with this. Just give me a few seconds. I'm not shutting you. I'm not walking away from you. I need to get my head together. And you can't help me fix this. Can't tell you how many relationships I lost because of that. And it hurts. It hurts. It hurts because I couldn't verbalize the pain I was going through. But that all comes, you learn how to deal with things like that through therapy. But I have trust issues. I do. But I'm much better than I was. I didn't trust anybody at one time. Nobody. Trust my doggy. That's about it. I didn't trust anybody because I didn't let people get close to me because it seemed like everybody that I really loved or cared about, they were dying. They would die. Or they'd eventually fall out with me and walk away. So I said, you know what? The best way to deal with that, don't get close to nobody. Just keep to yourself. And you can't do that. That's unhealthy. God created us to be social. We need social interaction. If you want to see somebody go crazy, isolate them. That's why when they lock inmates up in a solitary confinement, a lot of them crack up. They can't deal with that. We're social creatures. We have to have interaction with one another. That's just the way God wired us. That's what we have to have. And but the mistakes I made, I let the wrong people in my inner circle. And because of that, I end up getting hurt or angry. And then I shut everybody out. And that is not good either. There has to be a balance. Instead of just shutting everybody out, no, be more discerning of who you let around you or in your circle. I learned the hard way. I will tell you no now in a minute. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to be around you. No, just no. And I'll stick by it. I was tested this weekend. People trying to contact me. And I knew what they wanted. They wanted to get something from me. And I'm like, no, I need to take care of me. Sometimes betrayal never comes from a stranger. You stick a pin in that. But people, your own family will hurt you worse than any stranger. Flesh and blood. Because they know what to say and what to do to hurt you or make you mad. The man or woman that you love will hurt you. Some intentionally, some not intentional. The ones who intentionally do it, they're just trying to manipulate you. Once you don't give them what they want or do what they want or do what they say, they'll manipulate with the situation. Oh, well, I'm just learning the hard way in a relationship. The person that cares the least controls the relationship because they know at any time, all they got to do is threaten to leave you, and you're going to do whatever you can to keep them from leaving you. And I've learned in my old age, don't try to keep nobody that don't want to be kept. And my dad used to have a saying, you look better leaving than you ever did coming. When you walk away, you got diamonds in your back. And I want to watch them diamonds walk away. I never beg anybody to be with me, and I'm never going to beg nobody to stay with me. If you think I'm not good enough, you go right on. Because somebody else going to take your place. In fact, two people might take your place. That's business I'm talking about. Personal, somebody leave you, it won't be long. Somebody else will come along, bigger and better, with less drama. And funny thing, it might be somebody you've been around all this time and never even realized. They were just waiting for the right opportunity to come into your life. Something to think about. But what? I didn't have an idea what I was going to say, but I knew I wanted to share a little bit about me. You know, some people will try to weaponize what I say, and that's fine. God will deal with you. But I was hoping that by me sharing my experiences, it'll help you learn from my mistake. And one of them is having a spoiled dog that won't let you be great, sitting in your lap while you're trying to do a live. I love you, but you spoiled. So don't end up like me. Don't. Well, learn from my mistakes. I'll say it that way. Learn from my mistakes. But the talk I had this morning was very therapeutic. So I've been boo-hooing all day. Got in my car and just drove out into the country after I ran my little errand. And I looked down at my phone. I got a text that I didn't want to get. Got some calls that I ignored because I didn't want to talk. But I just kept listening to Kirk Franklin, More Than I Can Bear, and Leandra Johnson, Deliver Me. Over and over and over again. I put the link in the description of this video. So listen to those two songs. And if that don't help you, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. But I get tired, and I'm human. I'm not made of stone. I'm not made of steel or iron. I get tired of being everybody's rock, or everybody's fix-it man, or go-to person when all hell breaks loose in their life. And then when I get in the same situation they're in, my phone be ringing off the hook when somebody's hurting, somebody's sad, somebody's mad, somebody's sick, whatever. But when those things happen to me, crickets. And as I was driving down the road today, just aimlessly riding the backcountry roads, looking at that text message on my phone, looking at the missed calls that I intentionally missed. I'm going to put me first. Now, some people are gonna say that can't use me no more. Are gonna say I'm narcissistic. That's the catchphrase now among black people. Oh, you're a narcissist, or you're gaslighting me, all that kind of, or you and your flying monkeys, or whatever these terms are. Let it be whatever you say it is, but I'm gonna look out for me first. I'm gonna take care of me. I only got ain't but one me, and I'm gonna take care of me first. God, me, family, my friends, everything else down the line. And even with them, family, if it's not reciprocated, I love you from a distance. I went to a film networking event Friday. I did a wedding Friday as well. And then after that, I went to a networking event. Guy walks in who I once did business with, and I had to sever that relationship because he was, in my opinion, he was unprofessional. I'm not going to go into the things he did on the set, but it was his project, and he had sent me a message after I severed ties with him. Well, he called himself going off on me one day on his film set. So I got in my car and I left. I got in my car and I left. And I told him, I said, I'm a grown man. I said, to keep myself, because I don't feel like posting bond, I'm just going to leave. I said, because nobody talks to me like that. Nobody. Definitely not you. So he later on came back, man, let's just, squash this, let bygones be bygones. Let's go out here and get this money together. Da, 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 da. I'm like, look, I said, I don't hold any ill will towards you. I want you to be as successful as possible. Make all the money you're going to make. But you won't do it with me. We have come to the fork in the road. You go that way, I'm going to go this way. I don't hold any ill will. I stressed it again. I said, I will never badmouth you to anybody. I will never publicly say anything bad about you. But I will never do business with you again. But I wish you well, just not with me. So he saw me. I'm sitting there at the bar because the lady had nice food laid out. So I was eating a brownie, drinking some water, because I knew I had to rinse, dilute that sugar that I was eating, because I was about to start sweating, having bouncing like a squirrel. But anyhow, he walked in. He go around a little bit. I saw him out of my eye. He kept looking up towards me. So he makes his way back over there. Man, he's like, man, I need to talk to you, man. So yeah, what's going on? Man, I know the last time we talked, what you said you weren't gonna do. I said, he said, but I think you really need to rethink that. Da, da, da. I said, for what? I said what I had to say. I wish you well. I want you to be as successful as you can possibly be in every aspect of your life. I said, but we won't ever work together again. And I said, and I was lowering my voice, and we was right there, and I didn't want other people to hear it. I leaned in. I said, you go your way, I go mine. And what I said back then still stand. I will never speak ill of you to anyone in our industry. Now, what I say in the house or to other people outside the industry, it is what it is. I said, but I will never badmouth you to any filmmakers, any actors, or anybody that's here. Or, period. I will never badmouth you, but I will never work with you again. And there are going to be some people just like that in your own family that you're going to be like, I love you, but I'm going to love you from a distance. There are going to be people that you love more than love itself almost, and they're going to break your heart. They'll break your heart. But moving forward, learn from it. Become better. Don't become bitter. I put me first. Turn over a new leaf. You can call me selfish. You can call me whatever. I love you. Like I've been telling people, I love you, but I love me more. And if you disrespecting me, being mean to me, mistreating me, because you can't have your way with me, you look better leaving than you ever do staying in my face. Like I said, I love you, but I love you from a distance. That includes family, girlfriend, wife, kids, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, extended family, whatever. I'm not going to have anybody, allow anybody, if you don't bring peace into my life, more peace, because I'm going to get my own peace. But if you cause my peace to be disrupted, I will get rid of you. I'll drop you like a bad habit. The old Daryl passed on. So I'll probably lose a few people. No. And I'm okay with that. But when God gave me that message, it said, God hears your tears. I know I won't have many people staying in. Once they look and saw I was talking positive, they got on. So I'm looking at how many people, and the number dropped, and then it come back a little bit and drop some more. Well, now I'm not doing the mess today. So this video, this is what tripped out. This video might not get 200 views, but the 200 people it was meant to reach gonna get to hear this, and hopefully they'll share it to help somebody else. But I'm not in here making fun of nobody. I'm not in here going off on nobody. Those videos get thousands of views. But when I'm out here trying to help somebody, crickets. But I don't care today. I had to do what God say, because if I do right, He'll bless me. He'll bless me. And if you do right, He'll bless you too. You'll have the right business opportunities. You'll have the right person in your life in a relationship. Your children will be okay. Your grandchildren will be okay. Your family members, everybody attached to you will be okay. But God hears your tears. And I'm just driving down all day today, just boo-hoo crying. Couldn't stop crying. I stopped long enough to come in here. But just in case I broke down again, I brought my towel. Because I wasn't a little tear running down the face. I was sobbing, crying. I'm okay. I'm not crying no more. I'm okay. All right? I'm okay. I know you be trying to make sure I'm okay. I'm all right. Come on. Get up there. I'm all right. Oh, I love you too. I do. I love you. You're a good girl. I love you. Thank you. Okay. I know. You just want to make sure I'm okay. I'm all right. All right? Thank you. You're a good girl. Yeah. Come on. Lay down. Sorry about that. She just wants you. Thank you, Medina. But I'm sick of I got frustrated. One of the things that was frustrating me, I got tired of doing the back and forth with people. I got sick of just drama. And that's why I started making less and less content, because I don't want to do that. I want to help somebody. That was my whole motivation. When I first started doing it, my friend Tracy said, Daryl, you need to, I think you could do vlogging. You'd be good at it. And that's what I was doing. I talk about stuff that interests me, filmmaking, cigars, movies, celebrity topics. We used to do Friday night. We were trending topics. I enjoyed that. This was fun for me. This wasn't a way of life, and I don't make a living doing this. This was something I did for fun. Then it went from being fun to being a job. And I was doing this as my escape from my day jobs with an S. I did this for relaxation and fun. And then it became another job. Oh, I got to make X amount of videos and get X amount of views. If I plan to get a Google check, oh, this person said something about me, now I got to make a video back. I didn't want to do that. That's not who I am. So I pulled away. I shut it down. But then my health got bad, and I really had to shut it down. Then, in the midst of COVID, I was making content left and right. But then my daddy died. Then people came out here saying they prayed for my daddy to die. Prayed for my dog to die. People, I'm like, who raised these people? Hey, I'm afraid. I was like, hey, who raised these evil people? Where did they come from? Why am I dealing with them? I had to seriously question myself. Why am I dealing with people like that? Made no sense to me. And when I came to myself, I started pulling away. Then people were like, well, Daryl, we miss seeing you, whatever. I said, no, I need to heal. I done buried both my parents. That's more important to me than some YouTube stuff. I got to heal. Because when Marcella said to me, Daryl, you never properly grieved. You've been dealing with this mess for the last couple of years. And when he said that, it hit me like a fist, like bam. And I fell on the floor. Just started sobbing. Because he was telling me the truth. That's what a real friend do. They'll tell you the truth. And it's like they opened a floodgate. Just when I thought I had everything under down pat pretty good. Ooh, thank you. Move. Just when I thought I had everything under wraps, somebody close to me committed suicide last year. Right here in town. And it opened up a floodgate. Because when I lived in New York, I saw a man jump off a bridge. And I blocked that out of my mind. All these years, and when she committed suicide, it opened it all up again because she leaped to her death as well. But that old man, I said I never want to be like that old man. And I'm going to share this story with you. I can talk about it now. So the guy I was staying with, my college classmate, we're riding across the Perth Amboy Bridge. We was in New Jersey, going across this big bridge over the harbor. And it's a part of the bridge, is a walkway where you can walk across it. But they've since closed it down because this man committed suicide. And pedestrian bridge, you could walk over it, sidewalk. They didn't have any fences or nothing up there, which is odd. So, and if you driving down the interstate, you notice now there's fencing on the top of the bridges. That wasn't like that years ago. People started jumping out, committing suicide, throwing stuff off the bridges, little crazy kid. But anyway, this guy he had on a white shirt, old man, gray hair, white dress shirt, black shoe, khaki pants. I can remember everything about it like it was this morning. He was sitting there, looking out into the water. And I said, yeah, what that man doing sitting there like that? I said, he up too high to be fishing, not thinking. And then he put one leg over. I was like, oh. And people like jumped out their vehicles trying to get to him and talking back, coming back. And I got out. I was putting one leg out and I was coming out of the truck. He was stopped on the bridge. And he leaped over. I mean, I was like 20, 30 feet away. And he jumped, and everybody was looking, saw him go. And if you've ever been in New York and you know the Perth Amboy Bridge, you know all about it. Over there in New Jersey, it's very high because ships pass under it, going out to the Atlantic Ocean. And it shook me. I got back home. I was typing on Facebook. I said I saw a man jump over the edge. I didn't know if he was dead or alive. I was assuming that somebody went in, you know, whatever. I should have known, because at that height, plunging into the water, that much far down, the impact of the water, it'll knock you out, and then you drown. So, but they never found that old man's body. There's either the crabs or whatever, you know, they feast on dead bodies, or either one of those propellers from one of them big ships chopped him up. They never recovered his body, ever. But what happened, I went home that day, and I was so shook up about it. I was on Facebook. I said, I saw somebody jump off the bridge today. Never would have guessed. Somebody saw my post, told that man's son about my post. He reached out to me. He said, well, my dad's been missing since such and such a time. Can you tell me what the man had on? I said, I pretend. I said, well, I can't really remember. What did your father have on when he left? He said, my dad left the house and we hadn't seen him. He said he had on a white shirt, khaki pants, black shoes, about such and such height, such and such weight. I knew that was his dad. I didn't have the heart to tell this man, thank you, Uncle Fred. I try to hold on to that. I didn't have the heart to tell this man that I saw his daddy leap to his death. And for many years, I blocked that out of my head until my friend committed suicide last year. And it was just like all over again. Now, this was shortly after I had my heart procedure too. So I had to really tone it down. I couldn't really let it up. I did the best I could for it not to upset me. But I saw that man leap to his death. I was the second person I had seen up to that point. I actually saw this man kill himself. Now, when I was younger, I saw a man after he killed himself put one to his head. And I've seen some stuff that I block out. But see, that's not healthy. See, I didn't know nothing about no therapy then when I saw that first incident. But I was already seeing a therapist when I saw the old man. So I was able to like, hey, I picked up the phone, like, hey, I just saw somebody commit suicide. I'm upset, da, 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 da. And they helped me process it. But that old man jumped because his wife had died. His wife was sick. Medical bills mounted up. He took out a second mortgage to try to cover her medical bills. His house went into foreclosure. He was about to lose the house. His wife had died and he was about to lose the house. And he was a very proud man, white man, very, very proud man. And he felt like he was a failure because he lost a house. He did what he could to save his wife's life, and she still passed away. And he felt he had nothing to live for. And he leaped off of that bridge into that intercoastal waterway. And I said, I hope to God I never get that low emotionally and mentally that I want to harm myself. And that's why I'm really talking right now. So if you out there, man, you think about hurting yourself, don't do it. Talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody, go to the ER. Say, hey, I'm depressed. I need help. They will get you somebody. They'll even admit you if need be. Give you time to reboot. And I heard Ed used to remodel houses and stuff, and then he had some rental properties, and I would go with him sometime when I wasn't working on a film or auditioning. I would ride with him and help him out. And, I like doing it. I like doing demolition work. He would always give me the sledgehammer. He said, "You really like busting walls down and stuff." I love it. It was a way for me to release stress and anger. So I was, boom, I'm hitting that wall with that sledgehammer. I'm thinking about everything that was going on. I was beating the hell out of that sheetrock and plaster and throwing stuff out the way. So there was this old man in Newark, and we were gutting his house out. And he was afraid his house, those shows where they remodel people's house. He might as well have been homeless in the street in the condition that house was in. You could look down into the basement. The house, I can't even put into words. Abandoned houses were in better shape than the house he was living in. He was using the bathroom in a bucket, elderly man. And he would not let anybody in his house because if somebody came in the house, the code inspectors would condemn his house and they'd take his property. And he was scrambling trying to get Ed to help him fix it up. And man had a bunch of money, but his head got messed up real bad. His wife just left him, walked away one day, and all his other properties, she took him in the divorce. His kids stopped coming by, speaking to him. It was just him. He had a little lady friend, but she was milking him for his retirement, his pension. And I don't know what made this old man tell me this. He said, he just sat right beside me. We were sitting on the front porch of that house. He said, "Young man, don't let nobody lie to you. Every person my age has thought about suicide at least one time." Because I was telling him about what happened on the bridge. And he looked at me, and for some reason, he shared that with me about himself. He said, "Every person that's my age has thought about committing suicide at least once." And at that time, it freaked me out. The reason being, it made me sad. I was like, "I would hope that ain't the case." He said, "Yes, that's the case. They just won't admit it." And then it got me upset and concerned because at the time, both of my parents were still alive and they're the same age as this man. So I heard him. I got on the phone that day. I said, "Y'all all right? Why you keep asking us that?" For every day for about 7 days straight, I just kept asking. I said, "You all right? You sure?" Because it shook me. That brings me to this point. Check on your people. You ain't heard from somebody in a minute. "Hey, you all right? Just want to hear your voice." I do that. Check on your people. That girl that committed suicide last year here. I can talk about it a little bit. Hopefully I don't start crying. But she had a full breakdown in a short time span. Wasn't even 30 days. She lost her job, and the man that raised her, her granddad, died. And it freaked her out. She had a breakdown. She had a break from reality. She got in distress. She got in her car and drove all the way down south. Looked around for a few minutes and came all the way back. No sleep. From here to Atlanta, about 12 and a half hours. And she drove straight through. She got up in the middle of the night and just took off. And it came straight back. And somehow they had GPS on the phone or whatever, or the vehicle. They found her. And she was in Ohio, almost back here. She was down southern part of Ohio. State troopers got her. They got her to a hospital facility. Then they transported her up here. And I reached out to her husband. I said, "Hey, I've battled a situation like this. I never got as bad as her." I said, "But any help that I can give, here's my number. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You can call me. She can call me. Anybody in your family, your daughter, anybody, you need to talk to me, here it is. And he thanked me. He said, you sure you don't mind me giving you? I said, she got my number anyway, because we were in a club together. She was an officer. So when she was in distress, she said some things that upset people. And instead of them having the compassion and realize that she wasn't in her right state of mind, they said some horrible things to her. And it still angers me thinking about it, because those angry words, that's why I tell you, watch what you say to people. Those angry words was what led to her suicide. How do I know that? Because she told me that the words that they said to her when she was in her distressed state hurt her. Because she was already hurting. She said, when they said those things to me, it cut me to my core. She committed suicide on a Wednesday morning. I talked to her that Sunday because she was getting ready to go to her therapy appointment the next morning, Monday morning. She was really nervous about it, upset. I said, this is what you're going to go through. This is what's going to happen. I said, if you want me to, I'll go with you. She said, no, I'll be all right. And I told her, I said, first things first, get out of that house. Don't sit up in this house. Go to the lake. Take your cigar with you. Just sit there and watch the sunset. Watch the birds fly by. Go wherever. I said, what part of the lake do you like? She told me. I said, go there. So it happened to be down on East 55th, which is where our club ended up having a picnic a month or so later. But she went out there. She sat. We talked for 2.5, 3 hours. I thought I got through to her. And I said, if people are really your friends, which is what I've been saying to you, people that's really your friend, they won't walk away from you in your time of trouble. They'll walk to you. If somebody really loves you, they're not going to walk away at the first sign of trouble. Be it family, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. So I said, the hell with these people. Take care of yourself. I said, you got a beautiful daughter that loves you. You got a husband that loves you. People still love you. I said, I love you. All I got through to her. I mean, I was actually believing that I was sitting in this spot right here where I'm sitting now. I had the earpiece in my ear, and I talked to her for 3 hours. I closed the door. I said, hey, y'all stay out there. I got something really important to deal with. And I thought I'd reached her. Got up. I was driving down to Warren, Ohio, which is 60 miles away. Had to notarize a document. I got where I was getting ready to get off and get on the other highway. Phone rang. And I knew it was her husband. So I said, hey, man, what's going on? How's things going? He took a deep breath. He said, I wanted you to hear it from me first. And I'm like, what? I'm in the far left lane. I was blind, driving. He said, she's gone. I said, what are you talking about? He said, she jumped off the bridge today. She committed suicide. And I didn't even look. I just swerved across 4 lanes. I didn't even look back. I could have got hurt or killed. And I pulled over in the thing and I just cried for 45 minutes. And I started texting people. I said, I'm in distress. I'm not doing well. Please, somebody pick up. And people, I still had to go notarize that document because a company had hired me to go do it. I still had to go drive those 60 miles. And people talked to me the whole time. And I'm crying. She got up in the middle of the night, sat there, ate her favorite food, whatever it was, got dressed while her husband and daughter was still in the bed, drove to the bridge, and jumped to her death. People tried to talk her down. She jumped. Her husband had to end up getting her cremated, We went to the memorial service, and the very people that hurt her, oh, they crying. Oh, she was such a good person. I'm sitting there, I'm biting my lip because I wanted to come across that room and go to fight. But out of respect for her and her family, I just sat there. But I vowed if I ever saw them outside that lounge, and I saw them in the street, there's going to be no misunderstanding whatsoever. People all on Facebook, oh, she was my friend. They posting old pictures when they were doing the good time. But no. Tell everybody what you said. But that's why I tell you, nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to commit suicide. Everybody that's attempted suicide that survived will tell you the same thing. They didn't want to die. They just wanted the pain to go away. They wanted the pain to go away. And that's why I tell you, be careful what you say to people. You don't know what they're going through. Words hit harder than a fist. Life and death are in the tongue. And that's why people that are hurting, just know your heart speaks to God. God hears your tears. And when he gave me that to say in the title of the video, because I was listening to Kirk Franklin and Leandra Johnson, and tears flowing down my face, and I looked at my phone, I saw that meme with the Dear God written in pen, comma, and then the rest of the page is covered in teardrops. That's all you need to say. You don't have to write nothing. You don't have to say nothing. You don't even have to cry out. God hears those teardrops hitting that paper. God hears those tears dropping off of your face. And he will not forget you. He has not forgotten you or me. He will not leave us. You're going to get through it. Surround yourself with the right people. Whoever's causing you the pain, get rid of them. Whatever's causing you the pain, get rid of it. God will replace it with healing people and healing things. I'm here to tell you I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. Everything's going to be all right. You will get through it. You belong to God. God's not going to sit there and see his children suffering and he not step in. It ain't going to come when you want it, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if you know somebody that's going through it, remind them to read Psalm 34, verse 18. Remind them to read Psalm 34 and 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. I'm going to read it again. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That's Psalm 34 and 18. God ain't forgot about us. He ain't forgot about us. And if somebody you know going through something or contemplating suicide, depressed, feel like there's all hope is lost, want to give up, send them the link to this. It's not about me getting views and monetization. I'm not even monetizing this video. I just want to help somebody. You know somebody that's contemplating suicide or depressed, share this video with them. I hope that my story and my experiences will help them. Or if it's you that's going through those things right now, watch this over again later on tomorrow while you're going through your day. Just listen to them again. And I hope y'all start feeling better. Y'all have a good night.